can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy, right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. That's my friend, Sean Belesian. He's my friend. Hi, friend.
How you doing, pal?
I'm great, buddy.
Everything well?
Everything's well.
Good.
It was a weird weekend. We'll get to that in a second. KG in the building. You're back.
Yeah.
What's really good?
Our goddamn country.
Goddamn right.
Spencer Rack's right at. Oh, yeah. Give Spenny, just go in.
Fuck just yeah, you goddamn syrup drinking fucks. We're coming into your house. We're taxing you 25%, and we're slapping that ass. Those two Chuck brothers started it off right, throwing fisticuffs. And Charlie McAvoy was like a heat-seeking missile on that ass all night, baby. Hellebuck was giving you hell. Dylan Larkin with the game winner. Good old American boys.
Sometimes you just throw the line, bitch.
Chase in the Chase Lounge. Chase, you ate all the Girl Scout cookies. Hello, man. All right, look. What's up? Okay, Sean. Usually I would talk. All right, I'll do one weekend thing, but we are getting into this. What? Why do you have that look on your face?
Because this is such a horrible, tired bit. And here's the crazy part. I agree with you. That's the worst part.
No, you can't agree with me.
I know. I forgot. Yeah.
Sean, just shut up for a second. Let me do the show. All right. No. Real quick, though.
Goddamn right.
It did feel, Sean, and you're going to be mad at me about this too, all right? But it did feel kind of free on Saturday that we played yesterday on Sunday. So Saturday I had like the day available. And like at night, it felt free to be loosened from the shackles of football. It did. It felt good.
It was weird yesterday.
Yeah, like that's another way to say it.
Eerie. It like looking around.
Wait a minute. Do I got to turn the football game back on?
I guess I'm watching the Saturday Night Live thing.
Yeah.
Like that it was kind of like that, you know?
Y'all got any more of that football? I don't want all of it. You know, like that. It felt that way.
No, you know what? Listen, I don't hide it. I'm a hockey fan first. I know nobody cares. I know nobody watches it, all that stuff. What we saw on Saturday night simultaneously was the best period of hockey I've seen in decades, and I do not like overstatements. I yell at people for overstatements. That period was unbelievable. It had everything, and simultaneously pissed me off. And I'll tell you why it pissed me off. How the National Hockey League how it took them 9 years to do this is a disgrace. Shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. And that's why a month ago, when we were sitting in here and we did one of our nickel packages, I was talking about this very tournament, and most people were looking around going, what the is he talking about? Mm-hmm. They didn't do a good job of saying, this is what it is. This is who it's going to be involved. Most people thought junior guys were playing.
They still don't know. Sean, it's not an all-star game, by the way.
Shame on them. It isn't. It's not an exhibition. Like I saw people say, exhibition. No, this is like legitimate.
It's not supposed to be an exhibition.
Duke was
an
great.
Exhibition.
Duke killed multiple people on that trip to Russia. You know that, right? In Rocky IV, he maimed multiple people. Shame on the National Hockey League for A, taking so long to do this, and B, not doing a good job of explaining what this is. And boy, everybody saw Saturday night, didn't they? It was amazing. Right. Everybody saw
5.2 million viewers. Topped out at 5.2 million viewers.
A little bit of representation for that taxation about that. Canada.
Smoke weed every day. Oh, wrong drop.
Hell yeah.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Jump into there. Get your thoughts in there. The chat's already going crazy. John Effing Lord, good morning, everybody. Good morning to you, FJ1967. Good morning, BDE and chat. Manugian Mansion.
Shout out.
Shout out to you. Good morning from Southern California. Manugian Mansion. But if D-Mac ain't on, I ain't watching. Okay, come
See you
back
later.
tomorrow, Manugian
All right.
Mansion. We'll see you tomorrow.
He's still going to be in the chat.
He will, 100%. But no, we're going to get into it. If you want to jump the line, use the super chat. We'll do it that way. You know, if you want to jump the line, get your thoughts out there instantly. I'll stop what I'm doing, and we'll get to them. But yeah, George Ribbo, all right. George Ribbo, the NHL has made every All-Star weekend of every other sport look soft for the last time. It won't be the last time. This isn't the All-Star weekend for NHL. Sean, you're the hockey elite. Explain it to them. Once again, it's not an All-Star exhibition, everybody. And guess what? For the anti-basketball crowd, you know what? It's your people. All right, Sean? Every so often, this happens to your people. And I'm upset by it. And now we're going to have it out. I don't understand why this has to be a basketball
Always.
versus hockey thing.
It drives me
Your
nuts.
people, whenever there is a shred of success, when you guys do something that a shred of people care about, your people stand up on the mountaintop and say, look at us, everything else sucks, look at us. Why do you people do this all the time, Sean?
Because we're used to your people pointing the finger at us and saying nobody watches you, nobody cares, Andy Griffith got higher rankings, ha, 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 giggle, giggle, and all of that stuff. And the reality is, Neil, I don't like to get involved with it. You know why? We're both red-headed stepchilds. Or children. We both are. We are. We're both looking up at the king. The NFL is still being talked about. The NFL will be talked about. The NFL is 11 months. And we don't like the place that we're at. And that's why I don't get it. It makes it. If you enjoy the NBA, gosh damn it, go enjoy the NBA. What the hell do I care? I am not one of those people. We are stubborn human beings. Okay? We are. And as years go on, we become more entrenched in what I am never going to convince you. I am never, ever. I'll say this, and I've said this for years. I do not understand how somebody out there doesn't like the game of hockey. It makes no sense to me. I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense to me. What are the things that make the NFL, the king? What do we talk about? We talk about speed. We talk about ferociousness. We talk about big hits. We talk about excitement. Check every box next to the game of hockey. It's all there. It is. But I also am not one of those people that sit back and go, here it comes. It's the next big thing. It's never going to be the next big thing. Ever, never, ever. There's a funny thing, Neil. You can go back in time. And you and I are old enough to remember this. SI had a very infamous cover, maybe 1995, where it said, why the NHL is hot and the NBA is not. And it was basically saying that the NHL was catching fire and it was going to be the next big thing. Neil, I giggled at it. You are never, ever going to change people's minds. You'll tap in. You'll tap in when there's a game like this. When patriotic feelings and, yeah, America.
You mean the Olympics. You mean the Olympics.
Exactly. And that is something, shame again on the National Hockey League. Look at those players on both teams that never had that opportunity to have that moment until Saturday night. Like, that is so up. It disgusts me. Dylan Larkin, the Kachuk brothers, Connor McDavid, who I won't hear anybody say that there's a better hockey player than Connor McDavid. I'm done. I'm not playing anymore. He's the best. It's unfair. All these, they've never had that best moment. And conversely, they still haven't because Russia's not there. And it's a shame that Russia's not there. Sorry, Russia should be there. It's not their players' fault that their leader is a madman. It's not their fault. So this still isn't really best versus the best. But Neil, to that point, this is where you and I are going to come together. The back and forth between the NBA and NHL is just so stupid.
Well, that's us, though. That's us, Sean.
It's stupid.
It's the way we are.
Yeah, 1,000%.
It's the way we are. Woodward Sports chat thread. Jump into there. Get your thoughts out there. We got people jumping in the super chat as well. Detroit supremacy. Why is Cade only getting 5 minutes at the All-Star game? Because they did the most dumb format of all time.
Dumbest thing I've ever seen.
That shit was
And you know
horrible.
what, though, too? And for, like, the people that are, like, beating up on it, like, remember the NHL has done this, too, in front of nobody. Remember when they did, like, the World versus North America and all that stuff? Still nobody watched. Yeah. Like, people just forget. And that's my other issue. Like, people are on here, NBA needs to take a cue from the NHL. NHL did that before. Nobody cared. Mm-hmm. Nobody cared. Guys, this is very simple. Like, this Four Nations thing, the NBA All-Star Weekend thing. The NBA All-Star thing, compared to the Four Nations that everybody's talking about right now, they did that in the summer, called the Olympics. See, like the Olympics, all these nations come together and they play all these events, and it's country versus country, and it's really great.
And America spanked that ass then too, baby.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Remember, and everyone was locked into the gold medal basketball
electric.
game.
Steph Curry.
19.2 million viewers. People were locked in. So, like, everybody that's on this, nobody cares about NBA basketball. Well, somebody cares. You know, and that's fine. Like, if you're a hockey person, Sean, which you are, that's cool, because I'm both. I am. I like hockey, too. And everything you said about the Four Nations, that was me. I knew about it, but I didn't know anything about it. Like, I thought it was blasphemous. Russia wasn't in it. and I also thought, too, that it was just stupid that they're not in the Olympics anymore. All of it's dumb. All of it's dumb.
And that is the big difference because, as you said, NBA fans have had a chance to experience that in the past decade. We haven't. As hockey fans, I'm sorry, international hockey, and I've been
my favorite.
I've been very, very, very privileged to call some of these games as well. There's something different. There's just something different when you got that crest on your jersey.
Just like the gold medal basketball game in the summer.
You can't put your finger on it. There's a different electricity in the building. Whether it be into the hockey fans out there, I'm sorry, I'll translate for you in a second. Whether it be Canada Cup, whether it be World Cup of Hockey, World Championship doesn't count because it happens during the Stanley Cup playoff. Whether it be the few times that they did it in the Olympic, there's nothing like it. Two of the greatest, collections ever are the 72 Canada Cup and the 87 Canada Cup, where, those teams, look at those teams, they were unbelievable. We don't get a chance to see that very often. And why the National Hockey League, I'll never know why the National Hockey League decided after the last Olympic in 2014, well, we're not going to send our best anymore. How stupid, how pathetic, especially in a time where there isn't Canada Cup anymore, where there isn't World Cup of Hockey anymore. So that's advantage basketball. Make no mistake about that. That is advantage basketball. And that's why I think hockey fans like me who have been clamoring like this, did you see the excitement from those guys? Did you hear
the locker room after all of it?
Did you hear Matthew Tkachuk saying this is the first time I've had a chance to do this? And Brady Tkachuk with that shit-eating grin, and I told you all.
We all love Brady Tkachuk now.
That guy. Yeah. You love him. You need him in your life. I told you. I saw it. I did his games when he was at the NTDP. You want him on that wall. You need him on that wall. He's unbelievable.
I would give my left nut to have Brady Tkachuk in a fucking jersey.
God.
He would be the most popular player on this team.
Oh, for sure.
By far.
For sure.
Far and away.
They got the Johnny Hockey jersey hanging in the locker room.
They got Freebird playing.
They're playing Freebird.
Led Zeppelin in the locker room.
Yeah, they're playing Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin. Like this is what hockey's about. This is what America's about. Oh, it gives me juice. There's nothing that gets me more excited than the fucking national games, whether it's basketball or hockey. Well, I don't really care about soccer, but I'll tune in Team USA World Cup.
You do? 100%.
I fucking love it.
Everyone's
dude.
in.
There's nothing gets me more hyped than Team USA. And they went out there and they put belt to ass on Canada in Canada, man. There's nothing fucking better than that. It was awesome. They put up a stat of Charlie McAvoy. Said Charlie McAvoy 4 hits. This was like halfway through the first period. 2 on McDavid, 2 on Crosby. I was like, that's fucking right. Hit him in the mouth. It was beautiful.
Woodward Sports Super Chat, Detroit Supremacy. Kate can't even get help in an all-star game. SMH. He played 5 minutes, had 5 points. Yeah. You know what, though? Supremacy? Somebody asked me about that on Twitter, and I responded, good. I need that man to get every minute of rest he can.
Yeah, that's a fact.
For real.
Yeah.
For real. So I did. Double G21, old time hockey. Mike G, dream on, dream on. Chuck, Neil, I want both to be great. I love both, but hockey did it better this weekend. I want the NBA to figure it out, but this weekend was trash. They did figure it out. Over 19 million people watched the Olympic gold medal basketball game. And everyone was saying the same thing back then. See, we forget so quickly.
Sorry, guys, advantage NBA. I don't know how else to say that. You know what? While hockey fans are patting ourselves on the back, okay, how are we having this conversation after 9 years? By the way, in that time, with multiple Olympic Games being played, it's a travesty. Both things can be true here, okay? We can go, wow, this is awesome. I can't wait. And yes, I'm dialed in on Finland, Sweden. I don't care who it is. There's nothing like best of the best. Yes, you can say that. And you can also say, what the hell took the NHL so long? Why did you back away? Why did this stop? Why don't you have the World Cup of Hockey? Why don't bring back the Canada Cup, for goodness sake? It's a disgrace. So to my friends out there, you guys, the NBA, it's advantage NBA. Neil's 100% right. You don't want to hear it, but deep down inside, you know it. They have been to the Olympics. They have had that moment. Every prominent player in the National Basketball Association has played in the best against the best. And we can't say that in hockey. And that's a freaking shame.
Fox too.
I didn't say it.
All right, we're late for the break, so we'll get into your comments as well. Also, too, I do want to talk about Dylan Larkin, Captain America.
Goddamn right.
Captain America.
Put him on the ice and he scores goals.
Let him go to FeldmanAuto.com. He can have any car he wants because he's Captain America. There you go. That's right, FeldmanAuto.com. There's 19 Feldman Automotive dealerships in and around the Metro Detroit area. Feldman Chevy in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. I bought my car there. Sean bought his child a car there. Sam Flannel, although people will probably hold that against Feldman. But hey, he bought a car there too. We all know the same thing. The buying process is easy. You can even start that online by just going to FeldmanAuto.com. And it doesn't matter if you want Chevy, Ford, Kia, whatever kind of car you want, Feldman has it for you. The first step, FeldmanAuto.com. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you will.
David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Woodward merch. We got to get a Woodward America line up there.
Right.
We need to. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Hey, the Myles Garrett trade. F them pick shirts. They're up there. Shop.woodwardsports.com. F them picks, everybody. Shop.woodwardsports.com. All right, keeping it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. The most electric sports weekend, non-football related we've had maybe ever. Burn in the super chat. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, KG, Chase and the Chase Lounge, Spencer Raxter as well. Burn, thank Lord for the Michigan man and American hero Dylan Larkin, who stuck a dagger in Canada's heart. That's for 1812, you leaf bums.
Goddamn right.
There you go. I should have had Spenny read that one. My bad. Next time, all the America super chat Spenny's going to read. Is that fair?
Hell yeah.
I don't know why. Why does it make me laugh so much?
It's great.
True patriot.
It is. True patriot. Samarius in the chat. Team USA has the best goalie in the world with an elite and fast defense. You know what?
Goddamn right they do.
Connor Hellebuyck, man.
Grew up about 15 minutes west of here, man. High school hockey player. You want to talk about a guy that's come on. Now, listen, this is a great chance for him to lose something that a lot of people have said about him. When crunch time comes, he doesn't get it done. Both he and the Winnipeg Jets, that's kind of been the MO, right?
Same with Matthews.
This is the opportunity. If there was one weakness, okay, without getting into the weeds, it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue Canada's forwards. It's hard to argue Canada's defense. Goaltending was the soft underbelly. It was. With all due respect to Binnington and Aiden Hill and Sam Montembeault, who I watch every night and is the second best goaltender on his team, mind you, Canada's soft underbelly is their goaltending.
Yep.
And if they don't win this tournament, it will be specifically because of their goaltending. Right now, goaltending in Canada aren't going hand in hand. You know,
Which is wild.
Think about the incredible run that they had. You know, Brodeur, Carey Price at the Olympics. It wasn't fair in 2014.
Yeah.
It wasn't fair. Okay, but there's a little gap right now. You know, there isn't great Canadian goaltending right now, and I think if there's a reason that they don't win this tournament, it'll be because of goaltending.
Canada is going to have their children locked in ice caves in the Northern Territories until they come out as goaltenders after
Just
what happened.
strapped them to a goal, just
Yeah.
shooting pucks at them, right? Woodward Sports chat thread, 40 Gumble. Neil and Sean, is there a point where ratings for a game like Canada-USA in this round robin end up driving expansion of this idea to a longer midseason break, shorter NHL regular season? Yeah, 40 Gumble. It's called the Olympics. Like, that's going to be my stock response. So somebody asked earlier, and I lost the message for who it was from, but you know who you are. They asked, is this thing a one-off, or are they looking to continue this thing? I'll defer that to you.
I think that the question is, I think you're going to see the NHL coming back to more international ice federation type of events. But the one thing that I will say is, and I think people forget this, is when the Olympic Games are played, it's smack dab in the middle of the season. That's a problem. It is. It's a problem. And that's a problem that the NBA doesn't have. Now, in fairness to the NBA, those cats just got done with a grueling season. 82 game schedule plus whatever the playoffs may be. And then they have to turn around and go do that, a month later? A month and a half later, depending on when your season ended. So is it going to be in this model, so to speak? I'm not so sure it's going to be in this model, but I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see a return of whether it be a Canada Cup type format or a World Cup of Hockey format. The question is, do you do this in September? What made Canada Cup and World Cup, go look it up, you guys, for the youngsters out there, what made that so successful for guys like me is you had that in September and it led right into a season. That was pretty cool. The issue at hand, Neil, is how do you take a huge break smack dab in the middle of the season? The Olympic Games are in February. You're taking a huge break.
Because that's the cost.
Yep.
That's the cost. Because look at this, Sean.
They're morons. How they didn't do something. Again, World Cup, Canada Cup, allow them to go to the Olympic Games. How they didn't do something for so many years is a disgrace.
They took the break in the season before.
It's a disgrace.
When they would have to go to Japan or wherever they had to go for the Olympics, they did it before.
Yeah.
So, you had it figured out.
There was Nagano. There was Salt Lake. Even Sochi, and it's a disgrace. And so for the huge, and I'm talking, hockey's number one, the P1. For the huge hockey fans, this has been a huge problem for many of us. I bitch about it forever. I don't get it. I don't get it. And especially, again, here's one of those things that people don't understand. Most of the guys on that team play just down the road in Plymouth, Michigan at USA Hockey Arena. Nobody gets it.
Nobody goes.
Nobody gets it. It's incredible. And you'll have these tournaments. I've seen these tournaments. I've broadcast these tournaments where you have all the names that Spenny just mentioned taking on the best U18 from Russia, the best U18 from Canada. It's phenomenal hockey. Nobody knows. It's incredible. It blows my mind.
It's always blown my mind, too. Busy 313 in the super chat. Lucas Raymond looks like a top 3 player on Sweden at 22 years old. That's insane. This kid's going to be a superstar. And busy. Next segment, I want to get into the Red Wings angle of this Four Nations, because I do think that in this city, it was big in this city, and we'll discuss that coming up. But I do want to kind of wrap this thing up. Jonesy, in order, it's Four Nations, World Baseball Classic, Olympic basketball. Well, Jonesy, in TV ratings, it's the exact opposite of that. The World Baseball Classic final last year got almost 33 million viewers in America.
It's nuts.
The Olympic basketball finals got almost 20 million, 19 and some change. This USA-Canada have 5 million and change. I suspect that'll probably come close to doubling on Saturday night if it's USA-Canada. How about this, Sean? And I could make a segment out of this one too. Let's do this. Let's take the break, Spenny, all right?
Okay.
Because we're up against it, and I want to give the Red Wings angle of this its proper due. Then I have a proposal for everyone. Because the games are tonight, by the way. I don't know if people know this. President's Day.
Hell yeah.
Top 5 presidents, special edition. We have our top 5 presidents, so we have a top 5 list for you as well. That's going to be an electric list. I don't see what could go wrong with that.
No, nothing at all.
Nothing at all could go wrong with that. Just like, hey, Planet Fitness. Now, it is President's Day, so I didn't go to Planet Fitness this morning. I'm going to switch it. I'm going to go after work. And you can do that because Planet Fitness is always around. There's over 50 Metro Detroit locations, over 2,600 of them in the world. And a Black Card membership still just $24.99 a month. That hasn't changed. And guys, if you're serious about getting in shape, if you're serious about, and guys, not even getting in shape, movement. We need movement, everybody. And Planet Fitness is the angle for that. You can get healthy, man. You can absolutely get in there, move around, do some things. PlanetFitness.com, or just pull in the parking lot on your way home. Still the best deal in the gym game. You got friends paying $80 a month for a gym membership, and I don't know why. Planet Fitness, don't pay more money to lift the same weights.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Get a hot lather neck shave, a scalp massage, or a hot towel treatment as well. It's an award-winning haircut from one of our talented, lovely stylists. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, sit down, relax. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge as well. Jonesy also asked a question. Jump into that chat, by the way. You want to skip the line, use the super chat. I'll put your message up to the top. Jonesy, what are the ratings for those 3 games not involving America? Just curious. I don't know. We don't watch that.
Don't care.
Yeah. Spencer Raxter, your response.
Don't care.
There you go. All right, everybody. KG, that took all of 6 seconds, by the way, in the chat.
You knew it wasn't going to take long. It don't take much.
No. No, Aaron to the Stone. Well, all right, maybe. Aaron to the Stone.
No,
Neil.
Aaron to the Stone, you right.
Yeah. Aaron to the Stone.
And what?
Neil, can I call KG's top 2 presidents? Here it goes. Bill Clinton and numero uno, Barack Obama.
You motherfucking right.
For real, might be my top 2 as well. All right.
Hey, pretty golden presidents if you ask me.
All right, pivot. Here we go. Pivot. Here we go. The Red Wings angle, Sean. I do think, because Dylan Larkin, I'll tell you this. That's Dylan Larkin's biggest moment in his hockey career. Nothing he's done with the Red Wings will match what he did on Saturday night. To me, if I were going to have in my basement, if I were going to have like a signed 16 by 20 photo, it would be Dylan Larkin up against the board celebrating the goal Saturday night. That would be it. That's the magic moment. Now, obviously, we reserve the right to change that.
Sure.
If he lifts the cup and does all that stuff. But to this moment, Sean, that is the biggest moment in his hockey career. We had the texter earlier talk about Lucas Raymond, who is playing for Sweden and does not look out of place. Not only does he not look out of place, he carries play at times. So with that being said, Sean, this was huge here in Detroit. You said it. You said it.
Isn't it amazing? Like last week, I remember people crying about the usage of Dylan Larkin. And it was funny when you were out, Mac and I were talking about it. I said, guys, this is great for Dylan Larkin. This is fantastic. I don't care if he gets 6-7 minutes a game. Okay. Now, what he did, let's put that on the side for just a second. But to be around those guys, to see from those guys, he was going to come back a better hockey player. Period. End of story. Being around those guys, seeing preparation, leadership, all of those things. Those were going to be great things. And you're right. And we talked about it with Lucas Raymond last week. I mean, look, you want a confidence boost? Do you know how many times this has happened? There's a famous story. Sorry to nerd out on you, but I'm going to tell you this story. There's a famous story. There's a young player by the name of Mario Lemieux. Maybe you heard of him, who came into the National Hockey League and was really doing quite well, okay? And he came into the dressing room at Canada Cup firing a dart. Firing a freaking dart, right? And the story goes that Wayne Gretzky kind of looked at him and goes, What are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? Are you serious? And legend has it, Mario threw the pack away, and the game went like this. Those two were unstoppable that whole tournament. And Mario's career went through the roof at that point in time, and one of the greatest players to ever play, period of story. So it's not so much to me, Neil, how you look. Of course you want the guys to look good, right? You want to see Lucas Raymond stand out. You want to see Dylan Larkin have that moment. It's about what do they pick up and what do they bring back. That to me is immeasurable. When you're in a room with the greatest players from your country, okay, guys that have done things that you haven't been able to do yet, you can't put a price tag on that. You just can't do it.
Hockey question for you. How about this, by the way, everybody? You got to give hockey credit for this weekend. Taylor Frazee has a roster question about U.S. hockey, and I'll defer to you. You can't tell me that JT Miller and Trocheck are better centers than Larkin. Larkin also has more points than half the USA forwards this season.
You're asking the wrong guy about Vincent Trocheck. I love Vincent Trocheck. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the league, and if you heard the way they were pontificating about him, I think that feeling is held by a lot of people. Again, consider the source. I got a chance to call his games when he played junior hockey. Phenomenal, complete player. There's no doubt about that. And, I mean, to your point, I get it. I think when you're talking about the best and the best, there's something to be said for usage. There's something to be said about rolling lines and everything. And you know what? Dylan Larkin's play probably suggests that maybe, just maybe, they kind of finagle with the lines a little bit. Maybe, just maybe, they finagle with some of the minutes given out as well. Let's see how it is moving forward.
Because, Sean, for me, and you see this with, and look, like, is it fair to say Larkin's a young player? No. Like, when you get that 8-year contract, you cease being a young player, and now you're one of the top earners. Now you need to perform. He has continued to improve, though, as he's gone along. He has continued to improve. He's basically a point-a-game guy, which is what I asked for back, because I got some hot water before when I said, hey, like, do we need to pump the brakes on this Larkin stuff? Like, if I'm going 8 years at the time, 8.5 per or whatever that number was, I need a point a game. Like, and that's kind of a baseline. And he's delivered. So fair play to him. He's absolutely done it. Lucas Raymond as well. Is there a moment, Sean, where you think Raymond, and to a lesser degree Larkin, when they have these kinds of moments against this competition, does a light go on to them internally where they say, I can do this at this level. I am one of the best in the world at this.
Yeah, I think so. I hate to do it again, but there was a whole bunch of weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth when a guy by the name of Steve Yzerman didn't make Canada Cup in '91. And it was, check all the boxes. This guy hates Steve Yzerman. That guy hates Steve Yzerman. Mike Keenan's the coach of the Blackhawks, so of course he was going to get rid of him and everything. Coincidentally, for what it's worth, Steve Yzerman got that chance at the 1998 Olympics in Nagano. It didn't end the way that Canada wanted, but did that make Steve Yzerman a more complete and better player? Well, the process was already going underway under Scotty Bowman. And by the way, Neil, you know what happened? They had just won a Stanley Cup and they mixed in another Stanley Cup. And you're all the better for this experience. And again, Mac and I were talking about this when we were in on Thursday. You just become a better player. You pick up things. You learn leadership. You learn how to conduct yourself. All of this is, you can't put a price tag on what this means moving forward, especially for a younger player. Because, Neil, to your point, give yourself a little bit of credit. How much ceiling is there for a guy who's 27, 28, right?
That's it, yeah.
And I don't know what the answer is, but there's probably not a lot of ceiling left there. However, for a guy that's 22, 23, it's immeasurable. You can't put a price tag on it.
Right. No, and I do think that there's a degree of that. But this was so big, I think, for both those guys. I think for the Red Wings team as well. And, as they kind of continue to push. And look, this kind of goes along the lines of what we were talking about earlier with, I say you got to get back into the Olympics and do the Olympics as a league because you need this all the time. Now, I will say this. With that being said, Sean, I think I do, and it kind of popped in my head as we were talking about it, I think I do understand where the NHL is going with this because I think what they're doing is just cutting out the middleman, and they have the control, right? You can cut your own kind of TV deals on it and everything like that. So this probably will be more of a moneymaker for them going forward. But my point is, you got to get everybody involved then. You got to get everybody involved.
100%. And I think that's the interesting thing about it is, okay, so pick your poison. Do you do this during the middle of the NHL season when the Olympics happen? Or do you go back to the September format?
I think you have to do it during the season because you got to ride the momentum right now. You have to.
Then if you're going to do it, then you have to do it the right way. You have to do it with the Canada Cup / World Cup of Hockey format. You have to.
Correct.
This was an appetizer, but to me, do you know what's fun? I'm going to geek out. I like watching the Swiss play for their lives to knock somebody off.
Yeah,
like when Switzerland knocked off Canada in 2006, I'm sorry, that's great. Mm-hmm. That's fantastic.
That's Cinderella vibes.
Right.
Yeah.
Call, have a national holiday. Put Paulie DiPietro's face on a stamp. You know what I mean? Sorry. But you know what I'm saying? Those are the types of moments I like watching the Germans because you know what? Germany's really developing a lot of young players. They kind of looked at the way the United States did things with the US NTDP and said, we can do that. We can develop guys. I want Czechia there. I want Slovakia there. I want Slovenia there. And yes, I want Russia there. Think about, one of my buddies sent this to me last night. Think about Russia's goaltenders right now.
Bob and Vasilevsky. Yeah.
Thanks.
You would never score a goal.
Right? Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, well, Bob's got the night off. We're going to throw Andrei Vasilevsky at you. Okay, cool. Like, that's the kind of stuff. So, but, in the interest of being fair, I think it's bullshit. But in the interest of being fair, I understand what a lot of people say because take a look at what is going on right now with the Florida Panthers. Florida would love nothing more than to go on another run. And their key component to winning a Stanley Cup is Matthew Tkachuk. Well, what if Matthew Tkachuk is seriously injured?
Yeah.
Okay? And you got to start. You're back at it less than a week from now. Okay, how does that hinder your chance to win a Stanley Cup again with Florida? And those are the things, God forbid something happen here. Like, I don't even want to say it, but Lucas Raymond loses an edge, goes headfirst into the board.
Would be crushing. Crushing.
Are you kidding? We'd be devastated. So the flip side to that is how many people around here, okay? And Spenny would get out of his America voice, and he'd go, "Why are we doing this? Look what he did to the Red Wings. This is just stupid."
No, not Spenny.
So that's the coin has two sides. Type
Spenny,
of
you would just crack open an American flag edition Busch Light can in there.
Goddamn right.
See?
Got
I
an
knew.
Eagle screech at every can crack.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Busy 313 in the super chat. How does a washed Kreider make the roster over Kane or DeBrincat?
I'm not going to argue with that. I had an issue with that one from day one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If you're gonna take an old head in there, it's got to be
I
Patrick Kane.
just-
Like, it has to be.
All right, so I thought some people hit the nail on top of the head, though. I think what U.S. did was build a team
Yep.
as opposed to an all-star team. Just one man's opinion. And I think we saw the fruits of their labor on Saturday night. They basically told Canada, we're going to beat you up. One way or the other, we're going to beat you up. Okay? We know what McDavid can do, and there were times it looked fake in real time. Okay? You guys watched the same thing that I did. It looked fake. Okay? Watching that guy against the best in the world. Okay? He was just at a different level than everybody else. It really does look fake. And I think the powers that be said, cool, we know that Canada's got uber talent, so we're going to build a team to beat them and to beat them up physically. And they set the tempo 9 seconds into the game. My pants were off. Like the first fight, my pants were off. And
Dude.
I don't know what happened. My pants just fell off.
Sean, my wife, who doesn't care about sports at all, was sitting at the kitchen table. I think she was drawing with my daughter. And I said, wow, they're fighting. They're fighting 2 seconds into this game. And then they fought again.
Yep.
And my wife was like, why are they fighting? I'm like, I don't know, but it's awesome.
And then
And
they
then
fought
they did it again.
JT Milligan's ass.
It was.
He kept getting up, though.
Yeah,
He kept getting up.
Hey, that's America for
Yeah.
you.
It really, I had pantless Thanksgiving vibes. I really did. You know, when same thing when the Lions got up on the bear. What happened? My pants came off, and that was it. Was I had that same vibe? It's fantastic, and that's why I say it was the best period of hockey I've seen in decades.
Yep.
The talent, the tenacity, the everything. It was the best period of hockey I've seen in decades. It was just a great watch. The problem that I have, though, Neil, goes back to why can't hockey fans just say, wow, that was pretty cool? Why does it have to be looking at everybody else and poking fun at you and poking fun at them? You know what it is? It's pure insecurity is what it is. That's why NBA fans and NHL fans go at each other so often. Because like it or not, we're both redheaded stepchildren. We're looking up at the other guys. We just are. That's reality. So you have to pick at one another. That's really what it comes down to.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Paper Chungus, make it 4 teams. A Euro team, USA, Canada, Russia. Epic.
No.
Jonesy, the owners have to hate this tournament.
You do not get the same oomph if you do something. I'm sorry,
No,
you don't
it's
get the
gotta
same
be
oomph.
nations.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You play for your country.
Yep.
It's not the same. Yay, North America! No, nobody. You're not gonna get that.
No.
The passion.
If it's not USA, I don't fucking want it.
I would be fun to watch the Finns and Sweden try to join forces, because they'd end up fighting each other during the middle of the game.
Yeah.
That would be fun to me. That's not a bad idea.
You're hockey people. We're going to do it when we get back. I do have a competitive question for everybody, too, by the way. Les Stanford.
Let me tell you about Les Stanford. It's the Les Stanford sign-in drive sale. Get a 2024 Envision for only $239 per month, or try out the 2025 Sierra Crew Cab Elevation for $249 a month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $789 per month. 0 security deposit, 0 due at signing, 0 first payment, and 0 acquisition fee. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory at the sign and drive sale. Les Stanford Buick GMC, LesStanford.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Scan the QR code on the screen, and you can sign up with Caesar's Sportsbook. Use a promo code Woodward1000, make your first deposit, and make your first bet. If you lose that first bet, you'll get it back as a free bonus bet, all the way up to $1,000. Think about it now. You got that underdog you've been wanting to play? Give it a spin risk-free with Caesar Sportsbook. Again, use a promo code Woodward1000. It's Caesars, everybody, one of the OGs in the sports betting game. The app is clean. It's easy to navigate. Doesn't glitch out on you if you're a live bettor. It's the move. That screen's not sitting there spinning on you. You get your action in with Caesar Sportsbook. Again, use a promo code Woodward1000. Scan the QR code on your screen. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Keeping it pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. 4 nations carrying an hour. That is incredible. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge. Catching up here on a couple things. You brought up the name Rick DiPietro. Remember when he signed that contract? 15 years, $67.5 million.
It was Paul DiPietro that scored for Switzerland, but yes, I do remember that
Rick
big contract
DiPietro
with the Islanders. Yes.
They bought out his deal. He makes $1.5 million until 2029 from the Islanders.
It's Bobby Bonilla-esque. It really is.
What a bag getter.
Yeah, it's Bobby Bonilla-esque.
Props to you, Rick DiPietro. It popped in my head when you said the name. So there we were. Let me see here. Danny G, is Neil finally giving up that the NBA is a growing sport thing? Don't be fooled by a $7 billion TV contract. Somebody cares, guys. Maybe you don't, but somebody somewhere does.
I think you and I are a lot alike. You know what you are, though. Right? The NBA is not going to become the giant entity that a lot of people think it's going to become. Nothing will because of football.
That's
just the way. And I'm totally cool with it. I don't know why people want to be something more, especially when we all know the NFL and football is king. Everything pales in comparison. I don't know how any living, breathing organism could argue that. Now, some of the older baseball fans, the America pastime people, still want to argue that stuff, but that's just showing their age and stupidity.
Commanders fans still here in the chat as well. Neil, play the clip where you said that the Lions would beat the Commanders. I'm sorry, I thought a 10-point favorite was going to win at home.
I did too.
Yeah.
So,
and guess what? They all ended up at the same place.
I did.
100%.
I did too.
Hey, play that clip where you all gave up 55 points to Philadelphia the next week. Play that clip.
Victory lapping that is weird after all this time, but it is what it is.
I know.
I can see if y'all won the Super Bowl.
It's not as strange as the Vikings people, though.
No,
they're a
at least
special.
they beat us.
They are really a special group.
But
I never really
They're
realized.
our special little guys.
Right.
No, really, it's just like you had no place to talk, and yet somehow, some way, you continue to talk. It's really peculiar.
Viking fans are the worst.
Yeah.
They are, and
Boy,
they're the best.
They skyrocketed up my rankings. I'm not ready to say that they supplanted the Bears yet. Bears are still number one.
They're gaining ground, though.
They're strong number 2 right now.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Steve O'Baby. Neil, could you imagine if there was football in the Olympics? Yes, there's going to be flag football. Tyreek Hill wants to be on the team.
Yeah.
Every host country gets to add one sport to the Olympics. That's why breaking was in France, the breakdancing. So.
I'm just glad they brought wrestling back, because if they had fucking rock climbing and breakdancing and flag football but still didn't have wrestling, that would be a goddamn shame.
Yeah.
It would.
That would be egregious.
Yeah.
That Mian Lopez from Cuba has won 7 straight gold medals in wrestling.
Yeah.
It's insane, dude. Just retired.
I played beer pong with a silver medalist.
That's why when I was younger, boxing was the shit.
Yeah.
And those Cuban boxers, man, what was that? Stevenson won like 78. He goes out there at 78, beating the shit out of people. He won 78 golds in a row. It was outstanding.
My dad's best buddy, R.I.P. Brian, but he worked for Cliff Keen Athletics in Ann Arbor. So like I used to be like really tapped into like the wrestling world. They like fake called me as Cale Sanderson one day. As a kid, I was geeking out. We just saw him win a match, and
Greg, 2025. I really do love Canada though, and we talked about it before we started the show. I like Canada too because I could go to the bar when I was 19 over there.
Right? It's the 51st state. How could
I'll never forget that.
I went to a karate tournament in Canada when I was younger. It was pretty sweet.
Was Daniel LaRusso in the All Valley team there?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. I just figured I would ask.
Different training. I went with like my whole dojo, and we did different trainings, and it was like a 2-week thing, and you pick 3 weapons to train with. I did katana, bow staff, and nunchucks. It was pretty sweet.
Of course.
It was pretty sweet.
Of course. Greg Rounds. Neil, did I miss the financial breakdown to the Lions after the season? Yes, you did, because we did do it. All right, Sean, competitive question for you.
All right.
So the Four Nations, people might not know this, resumes tonight, as a matter of fact. You wouldn't know it if it were up to the NHL marketing people. Sorry, that was low-hanging fruit. I apologize. That's a bad move by me.
I'm not going to get angry at you because I bitched about it before the tournament.
Yes.
It's insane. And guess what? What happened Saturday made me right. So thank you, you dumbasses.
Okay. With that being said, so it continues today. And the lineup today at 1 o'clock, Canada plays Finland. Available on TNT, Max, and True TV, by the way. At 8 o'clock, it's Sweden, USA. USA's in. They are the guaranteed winner of the group. There's nothing that can happen. Everybody else, I believe, is tied with 2 points, correct? So everybody else has 2 points. Question for you, Sean. If if Canada, say they win non-regulation, right? They overtime loss, or they lose flat out. Do you dump to Sweden so Sweden gets in and Canada's eliminated? Because I would love that. I wanted USA to do this to Mexico in the World Cup, I think 2012 or whatever.
Oh, would that be funny?
They held their fate in their hands, and I literally wanted them to dump so Mexico was out. I wanted them to do that.
I couldn't help, and I think international hockey fans will know this, I couldn't help but have really weird deja vu about the 2010 Olympics. Because if people out there don't remember, United States, how did you put it, Spenny? Took belt to ass.
Yep.
And beat Canada 5-3. And it was funny because the radio show I was doing at the time, everybody was going nuts. And I said, hey, guys, legitimately it doesn't mean anything, right? And then, of course, as fate would have it, you get into the next round, and USA's a number 1 seed, and I think they beat Switzerland 2-0 or whatever, pound the Finns, and then it's the gold medal game against Canada, who had to matriculate their way through playing tougher teams, and Sidney Crosby scored the golden goal. And just retelling the story kind of emphasizes how nobody remembers that 5-3 win over Canada. Nobody remembers that win. It happened, the exact same scenario. And so, Neil, let's fast forward to Saturday night in Boston. In Boston.
Oh, my God, it's going to be a circus if they play Canada.
Could you imagine if Canada took care of business in Boston on Saturday? I mean, it would be the same thing. All the flag waving that we've been having and Spenny having fun with it. That sucked.
Yep.
Hockey sucks again.
Fuck Canada.
Right? That's exactly what's going to happen. Hockey sucks again. So that's kind of the routine that is going to play itself out. But hey, you know what? Enjoy it. That's the way don't try to make it bigger than it is. It was a damn good watch. It's one of the most fun hockey games. Somebody who watches more hockey than a vast majority of human beings and certainly calls a lot. I'll say it again. It was the most fun hockey game I've seen in decades.
Spenny, can we put it on the poll? Should the USA lose to Sweden to keep Canada out?
Tank to Sweden? Wow. They won't.
No, and I don't think they should either. I want to beat those fucking Serbs.
Well, we did already.
In Boston.
We did already.
Yeah, I want to beat them again. And I need Austin Matthews to grab his dick and grab his stick and start putting some in the back of the net. I know he is a notorious hide when the lights are the brightest, but like, come on, you're the captain. Go put a puck in the back of the net.
Oh, hell yeah!
Woodward Sports chat thread. Keep Canada out. Hell yeah. Gromit. Screw Canada. Mike G. Shout out $1 Million Saloon. The real ones remember.
I can
Connor
say a
McDavid.
lot. I'm just going to shut up.
Connor McDavid did say that today is like a Game 7 for them versus Finland.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, he doesn't have the best luck in Game 7, so.
There are quite a few places. There are quite a few places on St. Catherine Street that I'm sure some of the American boys got accustomed with on Saturday too.
Saturday
I
evening.
saw things I can't unsee, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh yeah.
Woodward Sports chat poll. Should the USA take a dive to keep Canada out? It's almost 50-50. So there you have that. If you truly hate them, then that's what they should do. George Ribbo, Matthews is playing awful. No back check all game Saturday. I'll say this. I've always kind of liked, and you guys know my feelings about Matthew Tkachuk. I love him. I do. Brady Tkachuk, because of the Red Wings thing with Ottawa and stuff like that, but I never truly hated him. I am still uncomfortable about Austin Matthews. I'm not going to lie to you, because I want Toronto every year. It's like it's how I know summer has officially begun. Like, people talk about the first day of spring or the first day of summer or that first 70-degree day here or when the kids get out of school. My summer doesn't begin until the Toronto Maple Leafs are eliminated from the playoffs.
Well, it's always an early summer then. As
Absolutely.
You know that's been my bit for my entire lifetime. There is nothing funnier than this is the year. I mean, for all the success they've had, they have a series win. Series. Not the Stanley Cup. A series win in the last 20 years. Think about that. And when you talk to them, it's almost like, all right, I know off the top of my head.
That's worse than the Pistons, by the way.
You can ask me, like, legitimately, you can ask me who won Stanley Cups, and I can tell. I have to go back and, am I sure that the Leafs haven't won? I mean, it's incredible, and more often than not, in mind-splitting ways, the Toronto Maple Leafs find a way to gag. And conversely, you know what? Give Mitch Marner his flowers for scoring that overtime goal the first game. Where was he on Saturday?
He's another guy who disappears under the spotlight.
Poof! I mean, he was gone. Non-existent. It was incredible.
Yeah, Nylander and Tavares are the only two guys who really show up consistently in the
I
postseason
agree
for
with
Toronto.
you. When they blew that series against the Habs in 21, people were giving Nylander crap, and I said, you're barking up the wrong... Because it's easy. You know it's easy to go off on the Swedish guy. It is. It's easy. I mean, I think we're all guilty of that a little bit. Oh, it doesn't mean as much to you Euros. And it's easy. Nylander was infinitely better than those two. Infinitely better. Yeah.
Jonesy in the chat, the final game is Thursday night in Boston, not Saturday. Am I wrong? Yes, you are correct. My bad. I kept saying Saturday. That's my bad. That was a slip up on my part.
Saturday is when the NHL returns.
Saturday's when the NHL is back, by the way. All right. Let's take the break. It's President's Day. Top 5 presidents. In honor of President's Day. Top 5 presidents list. This should go terrifically. Right, KG?
Oh, you know it will.
I know. Tell them about Jars.
Jars,
America.
Cannabis, America. Skiers and snowboarders get ready to send it on a 14-foot drop-in ramp with 3 custom features at the brand new Jars Utica location parking lot. On Saturday, February 22nd from 1 to 5 p.m., jam-style competition judged by 3 guest pros. $8,000 cash prizes up for grabs. Are you in? To register, go to jarscannabis.com/JarsRailJam to sign up for open skiers and snowboarders 21 years of age and older. Limited to 50 participants. Lock in your spot today. Darren McCarty and Stick will be doing a specialty broadcast from 2 to 4 p.m. Spectators are also welcome. This event is free to attend with free food with a Jars purchase, live DJs and giveaways. Drop in, cash out. It's Jars Cannabis, the Rail Jam ski event.
Get real.
Jam those rails.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports. Enough Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Neil Rule here for Feldman Automotive. That is right. Home of Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. But it doesn't matter what kind of car you want. The first move remains the same. FeldmanAuto.com. Maybe you don't want a Chevy. Maybe you want a Ford. Maybe you want a Kia. Whatever kind of car you want, the move remains the same. FeldmanAuto.com. You can price everything out. Hell, you can even start the buying process online right then and there. It is literally that easy. I got the keys to my car in about 90 minutes. From this is what I want to the keys. 90 minutes, guy. You can't even get a refrigerator that quick. All right? Let's be real about it. FeldmanAuto.com. Hey, they're the best in the game. Keeping it pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, KG, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. James, president of Feldman. Jay Feldman, our guy.
Jay Feldman, shout out.
He pulls up into the studio
What up,
every
Jay?
now and then.
Jay Feldman's a legend.
He is a legend. All right, it is President's Day.
It is.
So we figure, why not? We like to do this for holiday.
We don't have the graphics just yet.
Oh, we don't?
No.
Word.
Ryan Lentz swagging.
Right?
Man.
He
All right.
He woke up late today.
Oh, did he? Okay. Well, we'll pivot then. Okay.
Yeah, we should have. He said he's only got one more to do though. So
All right. We'll have it next segment. Then.
Yeah.
My beat. All right, my beat. We'll get into it. We'll do that in about 8 minutes or so.
Anticipation is killing us.
I'll say this. Here's the other thing that I kind of over the weekend, without being beholden to football, I did kind of turn my attention to baseball a little bit. College baseball started, and there is more talk about it. Sean, did the Tigers do enough?
it's not enough.
No.
Not even close.
No. I don't know how anybody. And this is what we're up against. I mean, there is nothing, and I mean this, there is nothing that annoys me more than spring training coverage in all of sports. And I'm not being funny. Greatest shape of his life. Like there should be like a greatest hits of greatest shape of his life. And all the reclamations, the latest one, Kenta, he figured it out.
Right?
It's done. So now I went from thinking maybe, 82, 83 wins. I'm at about 104 right now because Kenta figured it out. I can see a 104 and 58. The craziness that comes out of spring training is nuts. But the one thing that I'll remind people, and now we're sober now, right?
Yeah.
We had about a 2-week binge drinking during the playoffs, right? It was crazy. It was nuts. All of those things, okay? But how they did it was not sustainable. It just wasn't. That didn't mean that we didn't enjoy it. That didn't mean that we didn't embrace it. It didn't mean any of that stuff. But I think deep down inside, what made it so magical is we all knew that wasn't supposed to happen. You can't count on that again, man. Sorry, KG, you can't count on that again.
No, you can't. But after a decade, I mean, it was nice to take all that in and actually have a winning product. It came out of nowhere.
Yes.
Shout out to the Twins. But, I mean,
Shout out to the Twins for sure.
Not to say that your young players can't improve, because I do want to see improvements from Jace Young. I do want to see what Colt Keith has at first base, but just on the surface, it doesn't seem like they've done it enough, because infield defense is still going to be a problem with this team. And I have worries about the offense. When the offense goes into a slump, how do they react to that? Because that was a big part of last year that people forget about. There were, May and June rolled around and we were struggling to put runs on the board. You have a lot of the same players here. So unless they made that step or that jump in improvement, we might see more of the same this year. So that's what has me concerned. But it's still yet to be seen. We got to see it on the field.
All right, I'm going to try to do this again. And remember when I did this with the Lions in May one time? It didn't go very well with the Pride of Detroit people, who I started by saying, and I'll do the same disclaimer, I understand, I said at the time, I understand what the Pride of Detroit does, and they're very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I read them. And they put out a story about how David Blau took the team down the field in 7-on-7 drills and threw a touchdown pass. And I said, I opt out of that. That is where I draw the line. I understand Pride of Detroit has a job to put out content. That's how they make their living, and I'm cool with it. I don't participate in that.
Yeah.
So I am going to go down that road again right now. The Athletic, which I pay money to subscribe to, I really like it. I think it's very good. I think it's a very good value. It's a big part of my life. I read it often. I enjoy The Athletic. They do a great job. Cody Stavenhagen's a great writer. I really enjoy his coverage. I do. But he was the first one I saw that did this. And Cody, look, man, again, I get it, brother. I do. I enjoy your work. This piece, however, was not for me. It was the first one. Quote, Javi Baez could feel a difference soon after surgery. He was able to sit up straighter, feel more balance. The rehab, though, was grueling. Tigers trainers came to visit Baez in Puerto Rico, spent part of his offseason working with the Tigers in Florida. I haven't really stopped working out. The slow nature of the recovery was his greatest hurdle, but if the struggles of the past few years have taught him anything, it's that he can get back to his old self with one snap of the finger.
He's back. El Mago's back.
600 OPS incoming, baby. Let's go.
I opt out right there. Any Javi Baez is back. Any Javi Baez, the surgery went well. Any Javi Baez talk about anything other than he was the worst everyday player in the history of baseball last year, which he was, the history, and no one talks about that. But the worst player ever. Think about how many people have played this game.
But Neil, did Javi not have an old hip or no?
What do you mean?
Was his hip old or not? He has a new hip now.
Don't do this to me.
I mean, the Javi you
Don't
talking about
do
has
this
I
to
didn't
me.
think you would go around town with a new hip. Don't you think it'd be better?
You'd be swinging better if you had a new
Heck
hip.
yeah.
He's back.
El Mago might
Neil,
be back.
I'm not.
I opt out.
Neil, and listen, let me throw this in as well, okay? Do you know why I will always respect Cody? Because in a time where it wasn't cool to say there's nothing there with this Detroit Tiger franchise, okay? Not that long ago, guys, not that long ago. I got killed worse than I did my entire career when I said, what are you looking at? Go look at all these mythical names. They're not really producing anywhere. What do you... Hater, you're trying to be different. Cody was very fair about all of that stuff. So I'm with you. But this is where I'm with you again, okay? I respect you have a job to do. Stop blowing sunshine up people's asses.
He's back.
It happens every spring training. Stop it. And I know what it's going to be. It'll be under the guise of, well, I'm just doing my job. No, stop it. There are human beings that read this, okay, and buy it hook, line, and sinker. And unless Neil or KG or Spenny or me or Chase fall lockstep with it, then what happens? You're a hater.
He's back.
Yeah.
How many times? It's so easy to put that. I mean, the Al Avila love fest in this town, whether people want to admit it or not, I don't care, was at 99 percentile. Yeah. It was insane. It really was. It was batshit crazy, if we're being honest with ourselves. So, Neil, this goes hand in hand with greatest shape of his career. We did that for a decade with Miguel Cabrera. And you would see pictures of him, much due respect, waddling out on the field, out there in the heat in Lakeland, and then things like that. Okay, say maybe it'll be different. Say maybe this hip will. don't blow smoke because people are going to buy it.
Now, can I shoot the Tigers a little bit of bail and just be a fan for a second?
Yeah.
Scott Harris, I believe it was like a couple weeks ago, he spoke on Trey Sweeney. And he really made it seem like Trey Sweeney will be the everyday guy going forward. So,
well, yeah, because he's an improvement.
No, absolutely.
Over the worst player in the history of baseball that played every day. He has to be an improvement. He can't be worse.
But at least it's kind of refreshing that the team is maybe finally starting to see that. And maybe they saw it earlier, but they were handcuffed. But the fact that he's talking like that and Trey Sweeney probably will be the guy. Him in a support role, if he can.
That's where I exit the highway, though. They aren't handcuffed. You can make it go away.
You could.
Tev Sauce, too, in the super chat. Javi about to go crazy with that 220 average.
I mean, maybe not being the everyday guy.
That would be a 45-point improvement.
Maybe not being the everyday guy. Maybe it'll help. New hip, not every day.
Chuck Brewer, so he's going to have his best season ever. And again, I'm not mad. You got to write the story. I get it. I choose not to consume. I choose not to consume that story. That is where I get off the highway. I still enjoy The Athletic. I still enjoy Cody. I enjoy the work. Please don't block me on Twitter, Cody. I follow your tweets, man. You're how I get a lot of the news.
He's not as soft as those other guys.
I will say this, though. The Lions podcast, or the Lions page, they did unblock me.
Oh,
so
great.
I don't know what changed.
You didn't mention that part.
Yeah. They did unblock.
You've been ongoing with them for a while.
We are setting ourselves up for such an amazing scene moment, though. And I'm surprised that you can't see this, okay? Javi comes out, game 2, hits a bomb, you're dead.
Oh, it's over.
I'm dead.
It's over.
I remember what you said.
Yeah.
Why don't you pull up the clip? We are going to have the biggest C moment. It was like, remember when the bottom drop, Brandon Inge was dead.
Yeah.
It was over. He went to the A's, and you remember he had that one magical game where he lit the Tigers up.
Yep.
You ran him out of town, you ghoul, you monster! And then he remembered he was Brandon Inge, right? And the bottom fell out. You didn't roll. There's no coincidence that ghoul rhymes with rule. You're sick. You're evil. That's the shit you hear from nuts out there. Here's the best part. People think I'm joking.
No, Sean.
No,
I get the tweets.
Live that life.
That was a real thing.
That life.
Sean, I get the tweets when he gets a base hit.
Well, you know why you get the tweets. I mean, you kind of are the poster child for it now.
When he gets a base hit. A base hit.
Yeah.
People talking about Javi Watch. Yes, we will. And look, I'm going to get out in front of it. I have a Javi Baez t-shirt that I have locked and loaded. If he's on the opening day roster, I'm going to wear it.
Hey, okay.
I'm in. 100%. I have it ready to go.
Starting at shortstop, Javier Baez.
Yeah. New hip, who this?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Mark White.
Neil Gould, not bad. You called somebody a ghoul.
You cool.
Yeah, tell about Mark White.
If you're looking to buy or sell your home, Mark White should be your first choice. He'll save you to $5,000 your closing costs. Right, I said $5,000. Visit him at markwhitesells.com or call him at 248-290-8242. Mark White will get you in your dream home. markwhitesells.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Okay, we're back. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Sean Belizian, KG, Spencer Raxter, chasing the Chase Lounge. You're a ghoul. Jump into that super chat. If you want to skip the line, you can work your way up, and we'll get to those right when you send them off. Skydogs, you got to have a Skydog text. Neil, you and Sean's meltdown about Javi is why you can't hate him and defend Chris Ilitch at the same time. Show me a clip of me defending Chris Ilitch when it comes to owning the Tigers.
So you have it.
Show me a clip.
And that goes for me. I mean, you know that better than any. I have no reason to believe that this guy is going to do that which he said. I don't. I'll give him a little bit of a break for at least jumping in on Bregman and offering money that I didn't think he was going to do. But until he does something, you can't take a victory lap. No way, no how.
And I don't give you points for offering a contract because that organization has been the king of that, going back to Max Scherzer. Well, we gave him and put out a press release about a contract the guy didn't sign. We offered him 6 at 140, and then the Nationals come in with $210 million. Like, yeah, which deal is he going to take?
Right.
That was a different place, though. You can give Mr. Ilitch, you can give him a pass because of some of the other contracts he made. You're right. You can't give Christopher that same pass. You can't. Sorry, you can't. I can go, okay, they missed on that one, but look what Mr. Ilitch did with V-Mart. Look what he did with Prince. Look at me, this, that, and the other thing. No, you absolutely, Skydog, I hope that wasn't directed at me either. I'm sorry.
He just makes stuff up.
There's a reason why a reputation about Chris Ilitch exists, and I hope Chris Ilitch knows that better than anybody.
No doubt. Woodward Sports chat, there are lots of comps to Juan Gonzalez and Javi Baez. Not even close, by the way. Gonzalez played 115 games here, hit 22 home runs.
Yep.
In an awful year for him. Like, come on, guys. Get in the real world, all right? Okay, it is President's Day. So when the holidays come, we like to do a top 5 honorary top 5 list.
Top five.
Top 5. Why is it a top 5 list?
Half as boring as top 10 list.
Bingo. There you go. In the super chat, Tev Sauce 2 real quick. Tigers just got to win 67% of their games with that bozo bias. I haven't said bozo in a long time. We're there. But no, that's what we like to do here. So in honor of President's Day, a special edition of Top 5. Top 5 presidents in honor of President's Day. Against my better judgment.
Yeah, you didn't think that one through for once.
I did not think that one through. Okay, y'all ready?
Yep.
Spencer, usual order?
Oh, yeah.
Spencer Raxter leading off.
All right, at number 5, I have no other than Spencer Raxter as the junior class president.
Okay.
I think he did a great job, made sure things ran in line, picked out a great prom venue. He was a fair and just leader. So,
did you build a wall?
I did not build a wall. No. I did decorate for snow coming and homecoming. Made sure things were organized.
All American-made products.
All American-made products.
Probably.
For sure. Didn't sell out. I was as good and just leader as the junior class president of Centerline High School. At number 4, I got President Whitmore from Independence Day. The guy was going through an alien invasion.
Yeah, it was pretty tough.
He was dealing with a lot.
That was pretty tough.
So I got to give him props where props is due. He handled himself as well as you could expect out of someone. And at number 3, I got Jax Teller. Once he was upgraded to the president of Sam Crow, to the president of the Sons of Anarchy Motorcycle Club, he really turned it around. Got him out of the heroin game. Yeah. That was big. Got him out of the drug game. Call. That was big. He was paying for the sins of his stepfather. He had a lot to clean up after Clay Morrow kind of went off the deep end. But Jax Teller stepped up, and like his father, he led the Sam Crow Club to their best, what they were doing, still running guns. That's fine. What are you going to do? Yeah. But got him out of the heroin game, so that was good. At number 2, I got President Camacho from Idiocracy. Come on. What are we talking about here? Terry Crews, president.
Yeah.
He knew the electrolytes make the plants grow. Come on. Easy number 2 there. And then at number 1, I've got Abraham Lincoln. Freed the slaves, fought vampires. What else do you want?
He did fight vampires, but I mean, he still had slaves after he freed the slaves.
True.
It's Spencer's list.
But he
Be respectful.
You're right.
He freed the slaves and he fought vampires. What else can you ask for out of a president?
He didn't just... He killed vampires.
There's a B-rated zombie slayer,
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln, as well. It's like the lower tier of horror films.
Yep.
He got his shit popped, though, but I mean, it is what it is.
313 Thug Luffin. Okay, this is a political channel. Bye. Yes, because Bill Paxton as president in a movie is political.
You a dumbass. You're a ghoul. Like, come on, man.
People are really soft.
No, that's a fact.
All right.
They'll be back.
Chase.
I'm ready if you guys are.
All right, here we go. Chase, your top 5 presidents.
I kept it all USA. Shout out Ryan Lentz. Number 5, Zachary Taylor. I ran cross country with a kid named Zachary Taylor.
That's good enough to be in your list.
Exactly. Literally. Richard Nixon. If you like the EPA, did a lot of good things for the environment. He's not a crook.
Richard Nixon.
And Millard Fillmore. Name alone. I mean, dude's got a...
That's a great name. That's a presidential
exactly.
name.
Yeah. Shout out to Fillmore downtown. You know,
Yeah.
maybe they're related somehow, some way. Millard Fillmore.
All right, fair enough.
Millard
Number
is
2,
wild,
Harry
man.
Truman. Shout out to Christiana Beauchamp. We wrote a paper about the state of Missouri in 4th grade, and Harry Truman is the one president from the state of Missouri.
There you go.
Drop the bomb.
I love the connection. Like, Chase, this is one of your best lists. All right, go ahead.
No, that's a fact.
Drop the bomb. So shout out to Japan.
Hell yeah.
Thank Harry Truman and the Enola Gay. And then number 1,
Took it from
James K.
samurais to
Polk.
anime.
People of my generation might recognize the name. It is the school from Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, a pretty popular Nickelodeon show.
Shout out.
James K. Polk. So I honestly should have done a little bit more research into it because he started the Mexican-American War. So I mean, I would like that land back, but put him number 1 on my list. But like I said before, I do get to enjoy some of like the benefits of being white on paper. So shout out James K. Polk.
All right, I like rock
Fair
solid,
enough.
Chase.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too deep.
Yep.
I like that one. That was one of your better works. Batting 3rd.
Yes, sir.
KG.
Ready to hit
He is
the homer.
top 5 presidents.
And these are my top 5, and I don't give a damn how you feel about it. At number 5, Morgan Freeman in Olympus Has Fallen. Pretty
he
good.
played 2 presidents.
Yeah,
Yes.
he did. Deep Impact, I think, was the other
Yeah.
one. And that was pretty good, too. But my era, Morgan Freeman in Olympus Has Fallen. Shout out Gerard Butler. Him and Gerard Butler did the damn thing against those fucking terrorists. At number 4, Dave Chappelle as Black Bush.
Somebody cooking?
Yeah, right. Who said something about, oh, you cooking? No, that was great. From the yellow cake to they tried to kill my father. It is a goated skit, bro. If you haven't seen it, watch the Dave Chappelle show and watch the Black Bush skit. At number 3, George W.
Yeah.
And listen, man. He wasn't the best president if we go back in time. We all know he was kind of bad, had a C- average in school, but it was the moments.
Yes.
He when the camera was on,
He
that
knew
man
how to show
performed.
out. He threw the first pitch after 9/11 happened in New York.
Cut the
electric.
middle of the plate too.
Yeah, no, it was perfect.
That was
Literally
electric.
from that to ladies and gentlemen, we got him, to him dodging the shoes of the reporter, 2 of them. That like George Bush just had the moments.
Now
man.
watch this drive.
Watch this drive.
Yeah, no, oh yeah, watch this drive.
Pipes it down the middle.
It's too many to name, bro. He had the moments. You got to give it up to W. People think I don't like Republicans, but George W. is all right. At number 2, Bill Clinton. Yes, the man in the picture that I am dapping up
There he
and
is.
giving compliments on the shoe game. That
America's
Bill Clinton.
first black president, right?
Yeah, we fall just short of that, but we do give him respect. He knew how to-
Is his card in process too? Is it Bill Clinton?
It
Neil
is
Rule?
in process, but he gets a couple nods because he got top in the Oval Office. Very, very goated. And
That
you
is
know,
goated.
some black people would like to give him credit for playing the saxophone. Not me, but it is what it is. So that's Bill at number 2. At number 1, it is Obama, OBZ, however you want to call it. Little Wayne remixed a Millie and put Obama's name on it. And I mean, this smooth talking brother, he knew how to capture people.
One of the
man.
Great public speaker.
speakers of
No,
all time.
amazing, man. He
No
was
doubt.
down with the culture. And for everybody that's saying he didn't do shit, you ought to thank Obama. 1, he got Osama bin Laden that the other 3 presidents before him couldn't fucking do.
Found him in a hole.
Yeah, he got him, man.
Yeah.
He got him. And also, I mean, if you want to thank Obama for Trump being in office, you can do that. Because without Obama flaming him at that correspondence speech, Trump probably never runs for president. So you can thank Obama for that.
All right.
Thanks, Obama.
No Nelson Mandela?
Oh, that was a good one.
Honorary mention for you.
Yeah.
The honorary mention. I like it.
This is my top 5.
Woodward Sports chat thread, J Rotax 583. Neil Rule, #1 president, Detroit Sports Media Association. More on that later. Sean Belizian, your top 5 presidents in honor of President's Day.
I don't know the first damn thing about him. I'm going with Woodrow Wilson because he's on the $100,000 bill.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
If you had a $100,000 bill in your possession, it's probably worth $1 million as well.
Nice.
So I'm going with Woody.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
That's fair.
I'm going with Woody. President James Marshall from Air Force One.
Oh, okay.
Not only did he have the "get off my plane" line,
Get off my
he'll
plane.
kick the shit out of your terrorists.
Yep.
Get off my
You want to
plane.
fuck with him?
More on him later.
He'll kick the shit out of you.
He doesn't
off
negotiate
my
with
plane.
terrorists. He beats their asses.
No, that was a fact.
I want to take a trip with KG. Can you imagine a little fishing trip with President Alan Turnbull?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
From
Hell
Angel
yeah.
Has Fallen.
Yeah.
Like when he takes that, like that to me, that is my happy place, man. When I can go take my little fishing trip, okay? And you know what? The dude had more drones attack him, and he lived.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's a tough SOB, man. Thomas J. Whitmore. What more needs to be said? I'm gonna take your. He had an alien crawl inside his head, Spenny.
Yeah.
He had an alien.
No one
crawl.
talks about that.
Nobody talks about that.
Why doesn't that come up?
I don't know.
And then
He did
what
a
was
lot
his
for his
reaction?
country.
What was his reaction when he saw how nefarious the aliens were? Nuke them.
Nuke him.
That's right.
No
If all else
nonsense.
fails, you
He
push
hit the
the
button.
fucking button.
No nonsense.
Everybody's going.
Yep.
And then #1, I got this.
Slept on.
President David Palmer.
This was pretty good.
I mean, it was seriously. If you watch 24, dude was always in control, and most importantly, okay, a good leader has to trust those around him.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what was up with Jack Bauer.
Oh, yeah.
He
Kiefer
knew.
Sutherland?
Like
Best stop playing.
He was like, dude, I'm the president, but I'm deferring to you. You're the man. That's what a good leader has to do.
100%.
So I'm going with David Palmer.
You don't know all the answers.
No,
You don't know all
absolutely
the
not.
answers. Hurricane, yes, Sean David Palmer. So there you go.
Pretty hard to deny.
It resonates with the people. Last, maybe least, I don't know. You be the judge of that. My top 5 presidents. Oh, there we go.
Hey,
Yeah,
young Neil.
little second or third grade.
Looks like
Yeah.
Cristiano.
Black and white photo.
Looks
Absolutely.
exactly like Cristiano.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, no doubt. #5, President Marshall, for the same reasons
Yep.
that you guys
Get
talked
off my
about.
plane.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
mean,
pretty goated.
dude, like he was like a kung fu master, all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
legend.
#4, President Beck, Morgan Freeman in Deep Impact.
That was a good one.
He had me feeling better about the situation when he spoke. Like when he gave that speech, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do this. Yeah.
#3, President Business from the Lego movie. That man, he was about business.
Yeah.
You didn't have to wonder where things stood. He was about his money. That's it. That's all.
Hence the name.
There was a ton of transparency there.
Yeah.
You didn't have to wonder what President Business was thinking of. #2, myself with the Detroit Sports Media. I brought back American hockey, international American hockey under my regime.
Yeah.
People seem to like it.
For sure.
I'm making all the right moves.
Got Braylon to the Hall of Fame.
Got Braylon into the Michigan
That's
Sports
a
Hall of
fact.
Fame.
Yep.
I'm making all the right moves, everybody.
Definitely.
And #1, Franklin D. Roosevelt. The Depression
Yeah.
that led into a world war.
Yeah.
And he had polio the whole time.
He had polio
He went through
during it all.
He went through it for sure. Strong
He-
leader was needed.
He did. He's the only one that's done 3 terms, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Like,
They couldn't get enough of him.
You're right.
Sean.
By the way,
Didn't he do 4?
the guy was also a pimp. He was with his mistress when he had a cerebral hemorrhage.
God
nice.
damn
You
right.
got all this stuff
Nice.
going on, and he's chilling out in hot, warm springs.
Yes.
Right.
with his hottie.
Hell
Dude.
yeah.
Well, I mean, he had to go with the mistress. emeritus.
FDR.
Yeah, it was 33 to 45.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
4 terms, then yeah.
Solid list, Neil.
thank you.
Pretty hard to
I
argue
was
with
I was
FDR.
proud of that list. I was.
I think everybody had a good list.
I think they did. Yeah, that was a solid one.
Yeah.
People tried. They tried their best in the chat.
I know.
But I wasn't letting them do it.
Nope.
Thank you,
I wasn't
Neil.
letting them do it.
Thank
so
you, Neil.
You're welcome.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, though.
It could have been a disaster. Like
No,
when
it
he
could have been
brought
worse.
this up on Friday, I was right with you. I was in. There's nothing good that's going to come from this.
Yeah,
But
I thought the Big
we
T
took it
people
in
would
a
come out
different
in
direction.
force. And listen, Big T, take notes. George W. was authentic with his bullshit.
Harry Truman's the Big T. Get it right.
Trump be trying too hard, and that's why, he just not in the top 5 presidents list, man. George W., he was about that action, bro.
Jax Teller saved Sam Crow.
That is fair.
Look it
All right,
up.
late for the break. Tell them about Lady Jane's.
Lady Jane's. Awesome is when you can get an amazing haircut. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax, get a hot lather neck shave, a hot scalp massage, a hot towel treatment, and just an award-winning haircut from one of our talented, lovely stylists. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk-ins always welcome. Open 7 days a week. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Neil Rule here for Dr. Pierce, our injury insider, every Tuesday with us on Big D Energy, every Thursday with Ermanni and Edwards, powered by the Michigan Sports and Spine Center and MRI of Southfield as well. If you're a weekend warrior, weekend athlete, whatever you're trying to do, you can scan the QR code on the screen. If you have that nagging pain, that nagging injury, Dr. Pierce can get you straight. How do I know that? Well, Darren McCarty trusted his career to Dr. Pierce, and he helped him out, so I think he can help you out as well. Again, stop dealing with that pain, man. Talk to Dr. Pierce. He can get you squared away. 248-426-9944. Our injury insider, Dr. Pierce. Keeping it pushing here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase hanging out in the Chase Lounge as well. And people want to go political on it.
Yeah,
We're not doing it, guys. We don't do it here, man.
President Camacho, shout out.
Yeah, President Camacho, shout out.
Hey, Mark in the chat. Bush was in Harold and Kumar too. I forgot about that.
He was.
Was he really?
Yeah.
So
Oh my
Bush
gosh,
get around,
yes.
man.
Wow,
Dude,
that's
I'm telling
funny.
you,
W.
Harold and Kumar. That movie slept on too.
Oh,
I
man,
think.
classic, cult classic.
No,
Guantanamo Bay one's so funny.
I bet you W could make a mean brisket too.
Oh,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
You know he could. Yeah, you get that Texas, that
Oh,
Texas
yeah.
brisket going.
He owned
Hey,
the Rangers,
I'd have him over
too.
for a barbecue.
Hey, and didn't he have Dick Cheney in his camp and he shot someone in the face?
I'm pretty sure.
it was a hunting accident. He literally shot somebody in the face. Bush is goated, man.
The man apologized to Dick Cheney for
His
it.
dad's the real GOAT. I did a book report on his dad in 5th grade. George H.W. Bush. That man.
HW ain't had a sauce like that.
He was a fighter pilot in the Army. Didn't
Didn't
his
he
wife's
jump
name
out
on
of a
his
plane at 92?
Yeah.
He went and parachuted?
Oh yeah, he's a legend.
Dude.
crazy.
Real quick, by the way, Dan Gilbert was in the news too. He proposed an ownership group for a WNBA franchise in Cleveland. It's expected that they are going to get one of the franchises. The WNBA could award one or two more franchises to bring the league total to 18. The leaders for the second and third expansion teams as they sit, Philadelphia, Houston, Nashville, Detroit, in Miami. Nothing is finalized, but it does sound like Dan Gilbert
How you gonna go against your own city? Like, come on, man. The Detroit Avengers literally assembled to go get a WNBA team, and here you come just shitting on it.
Sean, there's no way that ownership group doesn't get it, right?
No, I can't see that. That's just you coined it, right? The Detroit Avengers.
No, that was Spenny.
Was it? Okay,
and then we heard it on the flagship about 4 hours later.
You nailed it. That's once the Avengers assembled. I mean, it eventually they got Thanos. People forget Thanos had his way for a while.
Yeah.
He did. All right, he was
tripping.
It was. People thought it was a 12-round fight. No, it was a 15-round fight.
Yeah, they had to go back in time.
They had to come back and go back in time to knock him off.
Where's your failures brought you? But back to me. Thanos legend. Go.
No, big facts.
Not gonna. Do you know how many Thanos moments I have every day?
Oh, yeah.
Where I say to myself, I want to.
I just snap.
I want to. Do you know how much easier life would be if I just snapped my fingers?
Half of y'all gone.
What's your Gamora? Like, I think people forget about that. Like, what did it take? Or, like, did you do it? Like, what did it cost? Everything. Like, what's your Gamora? What would you give up to snap your finger like that?
No, that's a good point.
Because I don't think people ask that question.
What if the Canucks never win another cup?
Well, it has been almost 32 years.
It certainly has.
June 9th, 1993.
Dude. See, I was going back and forth with a bunch of Canadians on Twitter. As I just kept telling them, you guys haven't won a cup in 30 years.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
Cowboys of hockey.
The bottom line is, like, people don't want to be paid in Canadian money. Like,
It's all economics.
Yeah.
It's all economics.
They're at a disadvantage.
100%.
If any team does it, who's it going to be? Who do you think it'll be?
It's gonna have to be somebody that does it the old-fashioned way, like Ottawa or Montreal. That we're gonna suck
Grind
for a
it
while,
out.
and we're gonna keep getting those picks. And kind of what Steve Yzerman's doing, and I think that's what makes things right now in the Atlantic Division so fun is because you have Montreal, who was in the finals in 21, okay, and they basically said after the finals, let's cut bait now.
Yeah.
We're not going to win the finals as constructed. Carey Price was on his very last leg, so we're just going to cut bait now and start the rebuild now. So you have Ottawa, Montreal, and Detroit all trying the right way.
Yeah.
That, let's face it, Buffalo hasn't been able to do it. There was something wrong in Edmonton for 2 decades.
I was going to say that was Edmonton's best shot last year.
It was.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Is incredible, and I'll say it again. Connor McDavid is the best player in the league, and if you argue otherwise, you're an idiot. Sorry, he just is.
Well, they got what, Draisaitl? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember what the contract situation is, but they're capped out. Like, they can't add anybody.
They can't get any better than what they are right now.
This is it. So they got to roll out and just hope they get it done.
Yeah.
Like, that's where it is with them. So yeah, just a couple of little notable newsworthy things, I guess you could say. There is something else too that I did want to get into. Let's do this and let's take the break to get back on the clock. We'll do that. 2 things. College basketball, anyone?
I think so.
Huh?
Why not?
Planet Fitness. We're live at the Planet Fitness Studios. I'll be going there in about 40 minutes. I'll be over at the one on West Maple Road. Getting it in, everybody. And you can too. Just $24.99 a month for a black card. And boom, you roll out, go to any Planet Fitness in the world that you want to go to. Get your routine in. Tons of cardio equipment if that's your thing. Tons of weights if that's your thing, like Spencer Raxter likes to do. 30-minute circuit if you're pressed for time. Stretch stations. All of it. It's all there for you at Planet Fitness, the best gym in the gym game. You got friends that are paying $80 a month for a gym membership. Trust me, you do. I don't know why either, but they do. PlanetFitness.com. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights. They weigh the same.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Begin Injuries? Big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread, you want to skip the line in the chat thread, use a super chat like Burn. The Utah Soakers will be the first team to bring Canada a cup after they become state number 51. So I guess they're going to move to Canada.
There you go.
Well, whatever. Burn says it, though, so there it is.
Shout out to Soakers.
Shout out to the Soakers, no doubt. College basketball. I don't know if you guys know this or not. Michigan and Michigan State running at the top of the Big Ten. They play each other twice in the next, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So it will all be decided, Sean. And it's funny because you were talking about in your radio career, when you would start talking about the tournament, the college basketball elite would pipe in. I've been watching this since November.
They get so mad. It was funny.
I don't know if people know this or not because Michigan sat out in the tournament for a while. It's been a minute since they've been in the tournament.
It's been a while.
Michigan State is up at the top with Michigan. Michigan 12-2, Michigan State 11-3. A lot of people are going to be parachuting back into college basketball here soon.
Oh well, and nothing better than Michigan State, right? I mean, when you have a legit Michigan and a legit Michigan State. How legit are they? We can have that debate. That gets everybody going. Neil, I don't care what anybody says, and this is, I wear this hat for a reason. I like it when the other guy is legitimate. It's fun. It wasn't fun when Michigan was down, and I won't speak for the Michigan fans. KG, I don't know if it's probably not fun for you when Michigan State's down.
No, not really.
No, I think we all win with the coverage. I'll be honest with you, and I don't know if you feel the same way, Spenny. I think that Michigan is a horrible matchup problem for Michigan State.
Yep.
One man's opinion. I think to a lot of Spartan fans out there, be careful what you wish for. I don't think this is exactly. Do I think Michigan State is a better team? I do. Do I think that Michigan's a horrible matchup for Michigan State? Yes. And it's a both things, Neil. I don't need to tell you that. It's a both things can be true type of situation. I don't know if Michigan State fans are going to like the outcome. I got to be honest with you.
See, here's the thing. As Oakland's played them both. Played Michigan in the exhibition season, played Michigan State, both of them at Little Caesars Arena. My takeaway from it was simply, after we watched Michigan and saw how they were built and how they were constructed, and Dusty May's a great coach. You take Florida Atlantic to the Final Four, you're a great coach.
Yeah.
He's a great coach. He runs a lot of NBA style, a lot of NBA action. They do the elite here, Sean. They do a lot of big to big pick and pop, pick and roll, screen and roll, and it's big to big. Like, we haven't seen that in the
throw
game.
Your card out on the table right now.
2 7-footers running the pick and roll.
Yeah,
it hasn't been seen since the Spurs, right? And there is no college team prepared to defend that. There's just not. I would say from a skill perspective, parlay with tempo. Michigan can't be beat in college basketball. They can't. However, they get loose with the basketball.
Yep.
And it will cost them. And ultimately, when they lose in the NCAA tournament, everyone will be standing around going, we turn the ball over. You know how everybody, when you lose. What you're good at is how you get there. What you're not good at is why you're kicked out.
Good call.
That's how it works.
I agree.
So in the Sweet 16, maybe even the Elite 8, Michigan fans will be standing around going, "We're too sloppy with the basketball. We turn it over too much." That's how it'll end when it ends for Michigan. On the flip side of that coin, like what you talked about, Michigan is a bad matchup for anybody because of the style that they play. Michigan State, on the other hand, they are a bad matchup for you in a college basketball sense. When Michigan State loses, Sean, They do not shoot the three well. I was stunned because Oakland, we're historically bad for Oakland in terms of shooting the 3-point shot. When I was prepping for that Michigan State game, I was like, wow, we're like right next to each other.
We're historically bad for
historically bad. And in this game, to have runs, you have to shoot the 3-point shot.
Yeah.
You have to. And if you don't, and you have a game where you roll out, and Spenny, tell me recently if this applies, if you have a game when you're 4 for 22, you're going to lose that game.
Yeah, sounds like our West Coast trip.
Weird, you right? So, I mean, but from a perspective of the Big Ten and the Big Ten championship, yeah, it's going to be fun. And people are going to be fired up about it. And I would say when you match these two teams up, it's up to Michigan whether or not Michigan wins or loses.
I agree with that.
I think that's fair.
It's up to Michigan.
I agree with you.
If they take care of the ball, they will win. If they turn the ball over, they will lose.
Yeah.
If both teams play as well as they can play, Michigan will win.
I felt the same way. You took the long way to get there. I don't like this matchup from a Spartan perspective. I think this team is, and Spenny, I don't know about you. I am so tired of hearing about what surely would have happened in 2020. The only way to make that go away, because, I mean, you know it. Yeah. Oh, I know we would have gone to the Final Four, and we probably would have won it all. I'm so tired of that.
I mean,
please go make another run.
Yeah.
Just it's way overdue. Go make another run.
Cassius was the best player in the world, though.
I know, but I hate playing that game.
Yeah,
I can't stand it.
He's great in college.
Talk to me about what we know. What you think you know doesn't apply with me, man. I'm sorry, it just doesn't.
I agree.
Spenny, real quick, because I know how Michigan can beat MSU, but I haven't watched a lot of MSU basketball. How can MSU beat Michigan?
Play defense.
Grind you down.
Yeah.
Michigan State, the Michigan State way.
Yep.
Yeah, got
grind.
you.
Yeah, play defense, have your guards attack the basket and distribute. Jace Richardson is going to need to step up. You can't expect Jackson Kohler to go out there and shoot 5 or 6 from 3 and have 23 points. But you can't expect Jackson Kohler to be a demon on the offensive boards, so a lot of second possession stuff. And they're going to need to hit their shots.
The race to 69 is real.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Hell yeah.
Michigan,
really
one of
is.
the best scoring teams in the country.
Or Spencer Raxter's weekend.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
it become more commonly known as Spencer Raxter's weekend. His
Yeah.
weekend is a race to 69.
Goddamn right.
No, but Sean,
Imagine just showed up. It's amazing how that
it's
worked
weird.
out.
No, if you watch those games and at halftime it's 41-39 or 37-36, they're doing what Michigan wants to do.
Yeah.
You know, college sports, college basketball, college football, but more so college basketball is all about controlling tempo.
Absolutely.
That's all that it is. If you're allowed to do what you're good at, you'll win. And if you don't, you'll lose. Like, that's it.
I wonder when the average fan, I actually did this over the weekend, but I can honestly say it wasn't the first time. When does the average fan who's just getting out of football season, but maybe all of a sudden you find yourself knee deep in the Four Nations, when do you first look at Lenardi's bracket? Because, he's money.
Yeah.
Can we all say that? He is. There are a lot of frauds out there and false prophets.
Yeah.
Lenardi's pretty close to money, right? Can we
Correct.
all acknowledge that? When's the first time that you find yourself tapping in and looking at one of his bracketologies?
Yeah, second to last week in February.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Around that time.
Spenny, have you been doing it?
No, I haven't yet. I haven't tapped in yet. I saw the one that he put out his number 1 seeds. That's really the only one saw.
I looked at my second one this past weekend, and I wanted to bring it up to you because you are. I think you're on the board of trustees, right, for the College Basketball Elite.
They are processing my card as well.
He'll be on
Neil's
the board
voted.
for years, but I'm sure you've been living and dying with that. I caught myself doing it a week ago after the Super Bowl ended, and then I looked again to see where Michigan and Michigan State both were because of this upcoming thing. And right now they're both at 4 seeds, for what it's worth. They're both at 4 seeds.
I can see it. Neil, you have historically, and I gave you props on the morning show, you may not like Michigan football, but you definitely have given it props to Michigan basketball and the job Dusty May has done. Who you think wins the Big Ten between the two?
I think Michigan will because I think they'll split those games.
Okay.
I don't remember Michigan's exact schedule off the top of my head.
We got to play Purdue.
Yeah, you got to play Purdue.
There's that angle of it. Like Michigan survived at Ohio State.
We did, but
barely. But hey, that's how it works.
They didn't lose the lead the whole second half, though. So
right.
I think it was
but
pretty good.
That's the way it works when you're on the road in college basketball.
Yeah.
So, again, I just think because if they split the games, which I think they will, probably each team will win on their home floor, then Michigan's got the leg up. And I just think that they'll make that hold up.
And real quick before we go to break, shout out to the two most legendary college basketball coaches in the state of Michigan. Number one, Tom Izzo, being the winningest coach in the history of the Big Ten, past Bobby Knight over the weekend after beating Illinois. So shout out to him. 354 career Big Ten victories. Yeah. And then shout out to Greg Campy for being the winningest coach.
Tied the Horizon League wins record as well. So yeah, next Horizon League game we win, Campy will be the all-time Horizon League coaching victory leader through Butler and everything that was going on.
No, Campy is great.
Yep, we've only been in the league a decade.
And I hate Izzo, but you got to give him credit, man. The man knows how to win. So
yes, he does. So yeah, it is. I'm happy that it's going to be. I'm happy that it's going to be relevant again.
Yeah.
Finally, right? Yeah.
Right. Finally is the word. But yeah, just real quick, kind of perusing the schedules.
Beating Purdue would be huge.
Yeah,
if we could beat Purdue,
that would be pretty big. You got to go to Iowa as well. Got to go to Maryland. Maryland's tricky.
Yeah.
Going on the road. I just think Michigan's schedule, like they got to go to Nebraska.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. As far as credible threats.
They always got home games lined up, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
They always do. Rutgers is coming in. Illinois is coming in. Maryland's coming in. I did the Maryland-Michigan game last year, 2 years ago for national radio.
Oh, nice.
So maybe I'll get that call again. We'll see. And then they finish up going to Michigan State. But, again, they'll earn it. If they win it, they'll definitely have to earn it. So props to them. All right. Last break. Tell about Soroki's.
Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza. Just delicious, delicious stuff. 7 different flavors of wings for you to choose from. My personal favorite is the spicy garlic, but try them all and pick your own favorite because you're your own person. Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza. To find one near you, go to Sorokis.com. Ooh.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network. Enough Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
All right, final segment of the show. Big D Energy, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean here with you. And, of course, we have KG, Spencer Raxter, and, of course, Chase in the Chase Lounge as well. Danny G, Michigan needs their bigs to dominate. Michigan State needs their guards to dominate. And, yeah, I mean, that's like a 30,000-foot way to talk about it.
I think Tom Izzo should use Cohen Carr a lot more in these Michigan games. His athleticism and size will be a very important part to defending that big-on-big pick and roll because, he is 6'7", and he is the best athlete in the country. So having him out there will be extremely important. Like I said, Jackson Kohler, he does a very good job at getting inside of bigger guys in the Big Ten to get offensive rebounds and putbacks. So they're going to try their best to keep him off the board, and that could free up a guy like Cohen Carr to get some putbacks. So I'd like to see him play a lot more than he has been.
I want to see somebody. Is it just me? You tell me. They're without an alpha dog.
Yeah.
There's no alpha dog.
Talking about State?
Yeah. There's no alpha dog.
It should be Jaden Akins, but he has not been played well.
Right. Yeah, it's weird.
Somebody said that in the chat, and I lost it. They said, Rich Baldwin, Michigan State needs to find a go-to guy.
Yeah. It should be. They should just use Jace Richardson. Like, he's their best player. Like, Jace Richardson is their best player. He should be the guy that you're looking at in crunch time situations to get you a bucket.
James, is that giant former Purdue guy doing anything in the NBA? He's getting 9 points a game. You know, he's better than I thought he would be.
He's top 3 rookie this year.
Yeah. He's better than I thought he would be.
Yeah,
Isn't that funny? I mean, that's what everybody said he wasn't even going to make it. There's a place for the guy, but you're not going to be what you were in the big. It's not.
No.
That's not the NBA game.
Yeah, I think he's 34% from 3 and 68% from the line.
Not bad.
So, you know, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, he's tall, he gets a lot of rebounds, so that's it. Somebody also asked Sean, did Ken Holland end up capping out the Edmonton Oilers?
I mean, he went all in.
I can't remember who gave Darnell Nurse the contract. That's the one that I think is really hurting them. I mean, think about this. Darnell Nurse is 8 years, $74 million.
He was
more than Mo Sider.
He was so good in junior. There is a guy. I don't care. It can happen to anybody. I saw it happen to a guy here. When the confidence goes, it just doesn't come back. And I think that's a guy. Boy, he was tough. Was it? I think that was a Holland contract, though, wasn't it?
I believe it was. Yeah. So the answer is yes.
It wasn't
he did.
Schiarelli, was it? I could
I
go
want
back
to say
and
it
look.
was Holland.
You know, do you remember this name from a few years back? Jakob Kindle. Do you remember Jakob?
Oh, yeah.
Kindle? I'm telling you, you guys, he should have been a stud.
Yeah.
And my understanding is the confidence just went away, and a lot of times that's what happens, man. And it just that's the boost. But my gosh, was that guy a stud? Oh, what could have been with that guy? He was so good in junior. It was amazing.
My favorite Ken Holland Edmonton move was trading for Duncan Keith and his almost $6 million salary at 38 years old.
Spartan Dog.
Confirmed signing by Ken Holland, Darnell Nurse.
I could tell by the structure of the contract.
Spartan Dog, Duncan Keith, one of the best defensemen of my generation. Got his jersey.
Still a bag stealer at
Still
the end, though.
a bag
Everyone's a bag
Get your
stealer at
bag.
the end, though.
Spartan
Yeah,
Dog, get
100%,
paid.
man. I'm not gonna fight you on that. So yeah, they are literally they literally have $0 of cap space. They are literally zero. So they're running at max
crazy.
capacity. No, it is crazy. Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into it, and
I think that's where both Edmonton and Toronto are at right now. If it hasn't happened with this group yet, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I know they don't want to, especially the Leaf fans out there, because you win the Stanley Cup every spring, as we talked about earlier. But with the predicament that you're in right now, if it's not happened yet, it's probably not going to happen. And that's why when you ask me who the next Canadian team is going to be, I think it's one of the teams that are still in the process. You know, when you take a look at what they have maybe organizationally right now, as opposed to what they have up here. We'll see.
Thomas Perry, I'm surprised Woodward doesn't dabble in college hockey very often. Even a 5-minute segment would be cool, Sean.
I can do it.
We can do that Fridays.
Well, see, the thing is like when we talk NHL, just being real with you guys, when we talk NHL, right off the rip, we lose, what, about 10% of our viewers?
Yeah.
We just do, guys.
It's the facts. Yeah.
It's reality. It is. That's
College
why
hockey would be
And
say
that's NHL.
I
right?
don't get mad. I know where I'm at. I know what I am as a hockey fan, and I've called college hockey games. I called college hockey games up at Michigan State. It's I know what it is, and that's okay. I'm fine with it. Like, I'm not.
Big D does the best job of talking about hockey in general, though. So,
Thank you.
This is the go-to show for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's all because of me. It's not because there's a 4-time Stanley Cup champion or Sean Belizean here on the show.
I know, right?
It's all because of me, right? I carry
Good
it
job,
on.
Neil.
Thomas Perry, I'm sorry, 5 minutes will send people packing? Yes.
It
Yeah.
would. Sadly, yes.
If
Yes.
you're not talking Lions, then
Yes.
it's tough sled.
You know what? This is why I've always been a firm believer in this. I guess this goes back to my radio days. You know what you do? When there are big events, you talk about it like we did today, okay? But you have your specialty show. Like, check out what Flannel and Justin are doing.
Right.
Like, it's
Woodward
great.
Wings, yep.
It is. I'm serious. I give them props all the time. They're checking the boxes. You have your specialty show. Neil, as you know, I did a show called Ice Time for years where, we had on not only a bunch of Red Wing guys, but a bunch of, national guys that I got a chance to know and everything. So that's what you have to do with hockey. That's just the reality of it. Come on, you're a hockey fan, you know that. That's just the reality of it.
Chuck Brewer, 30 seconds and people start to moan. No, they do.
100%.
They really, truly do.
And it sucks.
Unless the only time we can do it is when they're winning. Mm-hmm. I would imagine during the playoffs it'll probably pop off.
Yeah.
but like pop off for hockey pop off.
Right.
Not like
not like 1,500 live viewers at NFL talk.
Didn't we have one at by far the biggest story of the weekend, not even close, was USA and Canada.
Yeah.
And we had a guy, correct me if I'm wrong, Neil, a minute into the chat going hockey talk, bye.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's reality. It is. And there are more people like that than you could shake a stick at. True story.
Yep, that's what it is. And it is too bad because I do like hockey. And Sean, like I've talked about it, when I was growing up, hockey was high on the list for me as like things I was a fan of. I played in an adult league and all that kind of stuff. And I really do enjoy it. It's just when I got into sports media and got into, doing play-by-play, something's got to go, right? Like that's just the way that it is. But I've always... The best thing that they did was put the NHL Center Ice package on ESPN+.
Yep.
That was the best thing that they ever did. Because I like Connor McDavid a lot. I'm still American, but I do like Connor McDavid a lot. He's touched by God. He's the best athlete in North America with the biggest gap to number 2. Is that fair?
Shohei's getting
Well, yeah, he said America.
Yes. He's Shohei's up there. Yeah, because he... It's insane. I really, it is. There was that shift he had in the third period where he was behind the net, where he was going side to side behind the net, and it looked like what's the movie where the dude runs really fast, like one of the superhero movies.
Oh,
right?
The Flash?
Was it Flash? It looked fake though. Like he was just moving it away. It was like you're not supposed to move that way, right?
Yeah. I think you're talking about Quicksilver in one of the Marvel
Oh
movies.
no!
But, yeah.
What you would call it? The
X-Men.
Yeah, X-Men.
Yeah, Quicksilver.
X-Men.
Yeah, where they play time in a bottle and everybody's moving it slow and he's just taking it. I mean, it looked fake. Neil, I'm with you. He's not of this world. You can't move like that. You can't.
So, all right, well, that's it, everybody. You're back in on Friday, Sean?
Yeah, I'll see you Friday.
All right, there he is. For Sean Belizean, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase, my name's Neil Rule. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.